Now, from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Here comes Hermine. The tropical storm is speeding up the eastern seaboard as we speak and promises to bring some dangerous, possibly life-threatening conditions to the region.
Besides radar, we're watching the skies over the metro, and those of you on the Outer Banks are feeling Hermine's effects already, with much more ahead in the coming hours. Our big story at 6, Tropical Storm Hermine's trek up the East Coast. If you're not seeing any rain yet, you will, and it will be a lot.
We have a lot of ground to cover on the Labor Day weekend weather event and a team of reporters to check in with. First, a live picture from Surf City, North Carolina. Wind, waves, and rain have been pounding the Carolina coast for most of the afternoon. States of emergency are in effect for both Virginia and North Carolina.
It comes as Florida, ground zero for the storm, begins to dry out. Plenty of flooding, though, in neighborhoods from the Tampa area all the way to Tallahassee. A sure sign that Hermine means business.
We begin with the track of the storm and Chief Meteorologist Don Slater. Don?
Okay, you want to know where the storm is, what it's going to do? Let's get right into things, show you what's going on. We're already feeling some effects. Certainly the cloud cover. There was some rain into eastern North Carolina, not terribly heavy quite yet. We'll dive on in and show you where the center of the storm is located. It is basically into the Charleston, South Carolina area. The Hurricane Center, as of an hour ago, had it northwest of Charleston. Now it's really, you can see quite clearly that the center of the storm moved to the north of Savannah, Georgia, just north of Savannah, and is now just right on into here. That's where the storm is located. And as far as the latest on the storm, again, it's to the northwest of Charleston. According to the Hurricane Center update at 5, Hermine has 50-mile-an-hour winds, movement to the northeast at about 20 miles an hour. Now, where does it go from there? What does it do to us? We want to get into things. By 2 o'clock in the morning, it's lifted quite a distance northward. It's already to the north of Wilmington, North Carolina, at 2 o'clock in the morning, 50-mile-an-hour winds. That's late tonight. It still has 50-mile-an-hour winds because it's hugging the coastline. It's drawing up all that warm air and warm, humid air and still maintaining itself even across the Pamlico Sound, the Currituck Sound, as it moves over Roanoke Island by 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. Now, we're likely to see some of the heaviest rainfall between around 4 o'clock in the morning and about 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, mainly into North Carolina, but still a lot of heavy rain into Virginia as well. 2 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, it has emerged offshore, and it's still got some punch with it because what it's doing is it's emerging out over the open water and really starting to intensify pretty quickly, but becoming more extratropical. In other words, it loses its shape. It's not quite as tropical looking. 2 o'clock in the morning, that's tomorrow night, 65-mile-an-hour winds. It's still close enough past the area, so we're still going to see some wind dragging in out of the north at that point. Not as strong. I think the strongest winds are going to be, again, between around 4 o'clock in the morning and around 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. I want to show you what the winds are going to be doing. These are 40-mile-an-hour winds, and 40 to 50-mile-an-hour winds anywhere within this yellow area. But you'll note that once it emerges offshore late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, it starts to intensify, and it's still hanging around, still giving the eastern shore some northwesterly winds all the way on into Tuesday and Wednesday. Now, we're going to talk more about what we can expect out of this storm and what we can expect specifically for our area and areas. I'll be coming up with a full forecast in just a few minutes.
Not much happening in the metro now, but you don't have to go far to see the first effects from Hermine.
The Outer Banks is battened down and just in time. A live picture from Kill Devil Hills, where it's been raining and blowing for several hours now. The waves already at dangerous levels. 10 on your side is right down the road this evening. 10 on your side's Jason Marks begins our team coverage. Jason?
Yeah, Tom, we're here in Nags Head, and it's just downright disgusting outside. We've had rain all day long, and it really, within the last hour, has picked up at a good clip. A lot of rain, a lot of wind, and the waves have really started to get rougher. Take a look at the ocean right here off the Outer Banks, and you can see those waves have really picked up. Now, Dare County officials are telling me that they expect to see anywhere between 5 and 8 inches of rain. On the high side, it could be 10 inches. So they're expecting maybe some flash flooding out of this. Also, they say we could get a moderate tidal surge, so that is also an issue. Once again, like we said earlier in the week when we had Tropical Depression number 8 come through, they're urging residents and visitors to go around the yards and tie down any loose objects because when these winds start, they will become projectiles and could be very dangerous. I spoke with a resident here in Nags Head a short time ago who says he's not too worried about the storm.
We're not running for the hills. We're just hanging out. It's coming across the land, so once it gets here, once it goes back in the ocean, it might get a little worse. Now, the backside, when it starts getting northwest, might push the sound up on some of the backside of the island, but hopefully it won't be that bad.
Yeah, hopefully it will not be that bad. I am told that there could be some sound-side flooding anywhere between Hatteras Village northward. Obviously, we're concerned about Highway 12 on Pea Island. That is an area that always washes out. I can tell you that North Carolina Department of Transportation, they do have machinery, heavy machinery over on Pea Island right now to start clearing any overwash should it be possible. My colleague Joe Fisher's here in the Outer Banks. He will pick up the story for you for the rest of the night, and I'll be back with you first thing tomorrow morning starting at 5 a.m. But for now, that's the latest here in Nags Head. Jason Marks, 10 on your side.
And I'm Erin Kelly at the Virginia Beach oceanfront, where the weather has forced event planners across the city to be flexible. I want to show you the lonely beach behind me here. The American Music Festival, they did have to cancel their performances tonight at the main stage, 22nd and 17th Street stages. Tomorrow's main stage events have been moved to the Virginia Beach Convention Center. Beach Events Program Director says in 23 years of planning the event, he's dealt with 4 hurricanes, and organizers are going to do their best to give attendees all they can.
This is our mission, at least for this weekend, is to give you a complete experience. Sometimes you need your imagination to make it great. This is one of those weekends, but it'll be fine.
Another big event this weekend, the Rock and Roll Half Marathon. That is still on, as is the 5K. Those are both scheduled for Sunday. But because of the weather, tomorrow's 1-mile race on the beach is canceled. And that's the latest here in Virginia Beach. Erin Kelly, 10 on your side.
I'm Matt Gregory in Norfolk, where we've already seen a little bit of flooding ahead of Hermine. Take a look over here. This is Llewellyn Avenue. Earlier today at high tide, there was water coming up into the street. Cars were getting stopped there, and that's before this storm even started. So I went out and I talked to a group today who does their best to predict what's going to happen with these storms and where they might predict and see flooding on streets and in neighborhoods. So earlier today, you get a look at this. This is the tide at high tide near Colonial Place, where the water pushed out of the streets. You can look at this. It's around 11 o'clock before noon. Cars tried to push their way through the water, but it wasn't just here. The banks of the river near Largemont came right over into the road there. Now, one group we've talked to has worked to try and predict street flooding. They have an app called Sea Level Rise. We met with Skip Stiles from Wetlands Watch. He is one of the creators. He uses historic data and prediction models from VIMS as well as ODU, and they get an idea of what the tide rise will look like with a storm coming in. He says the predictions right now show significant amounts of flooding on the streets of Norfolk from this storm. Stiles says that what happened today flooding-wise was pretty big without any rain, and what our meteorologists are already predicting here at WAVY 10, he expects to see even worse when Hermine hits.
It's the usual roads. People in neighborhoods know where they are, but this road back here will probably be closed. I would expect Hampton Boulevard will be closed up by the Larchmont Library. You know, the thing is with the rain, you just don't know which intersections are going to get flooded.
Now, if you live in a flood-prone area, sorry about that, if you live in a flood-prone area and you have a car that you're worried about over the next 24 hours, the city of Norfolk is giving free parking in garages and lots across the city. If you would like to move your car to one of those lots until Sunday, there's a list on our website at wavy.com to tell you where you can go and park for free. In Norfolk, I'm Matt Gregory. 10 on your side.
Well, our coverage of Hermine continues after the break. Still ahead, more schedule changes for other events across Hampton roads. Plus, Bruce Rader with a look at some football games moved because of the storm. And, of course, the all-important forecast from Don Slater. And other news, Andy Fox with the story of 2 children shot in Newport News.
So stay with the station on your side as we guide you through the storm on this Friday night.
At 10 on your side, we take every storm seriously.
We're going to continue to watch this as it kind of meanders and creeps towards the coast,
tracking its every move for days.
The red flags are going to be up again today. Rip currents are an extreme threat for the next couple days.
We're just keeping an eye on it, but we're watching you guys.
There's where it is by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. It's veered offshore.
That's why you trust an entire team. 10 on your side.
How can we save our customers more money?
Double it.
Double what? Double the savings. What if the factory says $1,500? You got to make it $3,000. How about $2,500? $5,000. I like the way you think. Call me today at 757-217-9022.
Don't miss Mattress Firm's Labor Day sale with store-wide savings of up to $500. This Friday through Monday, get huge doorbuster deals, like a free adjustable base with purchase of select mattresses valued up to $1,598, and firm queen sets for just $159.99. Plus, get a free 2-pack of memory foam pillows with select purchases. And through Monday, get 0% APR for 72 months, only at Mattress Firm.
The only name you need to know this Labor Day is Casey. This weekend only, save thousands from 8 of the country's top manufacturers, plus hundreds of pre-owned vehicles backed by Casey's exclusive 2-year, 200,000-mile limited warranty. Get 0% financing or rebates up to $8,000 off MSRP on a huge selection of vehicles now through Monday. Shop any Casey location right now from Williamsburg to Newport News or online at CaseyAuto.com. Casey is the only name you need to know this Labor Day for a great deal.
They have so many more models here. Why didn't we come here first?
How long has she had FOBO?
Oh, this is huge.
FOBO? There are better options. It's when you regret not shopping at H.H. Gregg first.
Oh, no, this one. No, this is the one I want.
Hang in there, buddy.
Get all the options you want during H.H. Gregg's Labor Day sale. Up to 35% off store-wide, plus 36 months special financing and free delivery. All with our low price guarantee. Appliances, electronics, furniture. H.H. Gregg.
How can we save our customers more money? Double it. Double what? Double the savings. What if the factory says $1,500? You got to make it $3,000. How about $2,500? $5,000. I like the way you think.
Come visit the #1 Nissan dealership in the Mid-Atlantic region today.
Closed captioning is sponsored by Michael & Son. From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
Back now with more scheduled changes as Hermine approaches Hampton Roads.
That includes no classes for ODU. The university canceled Saturday classes at all campuses. Classes resume Tuesday. Also in Norfolk, no First Friday on Granby Street tonight, and all tourism-related events in Suffolk have been called off for Saturday. Busch Gardens is open, but some rides will be closed. Water Country USA, that is closed tomorrow.
A reminder that our coverage will continue between newscasts on WAVY.com. That's where you'll find information about parking if you live in a low-lying area. Also, make sure to have our news and weather apps loaded on your phone in case the power goes out at your home. And we will be on an hour early tomorrow morning, just as the height of the storm overtakes the area. Join Lex, Katie, and Jeremy at 5 a.m. for WAVY News 10 today. Now next at 6, 2 young people shot in the dark of night in a local neighborhood. Our Andy Fox talks with neighbors about the scary scenario of crime there next.
And of course, we wait for Hermine, when it will arrive, and when will the better weather roll in? Don's forecast when we come back.
Get your tickets for the American Music Festival, Rockin' the Beach, Labor Day weekend.
At Cavalier Ford, we know you expect a great value when driving home a new Ford. That's why we make it easy to get a great price on our huge selection of over 700 new vehicles. But what happens after the sale is the real reason we make customers for life. Every Cavalier owner enjoys a lifetime of quality service from a trusted staff that's considerate of your time and your budget. Cavalier Ford, serving customers for life.
Cavalier, serving customers for life.
Here they come. They heard about Rob's crazy Labor Day sale. Crazy deals. Up to 50% off. Check out this Frigidaire Gallery 4-piece stainless steel kitchen package, only $20.99. That's crazy. Or this Samsung front load laundry pair, save $900 when you buy both. That's crazy. And this high-air French door refrigerator, now $12.99. Crazy prices on everything, including mattresses. It's my crazy Labor Day sale at East Coast Appliance. It's the best price or it's free.
Wow, what would Mama put the diapers?
Relax. Parenting just got easier. Enrolling your children for health insurance is just one phone call away.
Do you like it?
Checkups, prescriptions, dental and vision, mental health care, and more.
Are you serious?
Go to coverva.org for more info. famous. This is the easy part.
Want a new Hyundai? Priority Hyundai. Want an Elantra for $13,987? Priority Hyundai. Sonata for $17,987? Priority Hyundai. 0% financing? Priority Hyundai. Priorities for life? Priority Hyundai. Priority Hyundai. Priority Hyundai. Priority Hyundai.
Be prepared for weekend weather. Tune in tomorrow morning.
Big, but it's almost over. The huge Hyundai savings event ends Monday night. Get $1,000 summer sales cash on our best selection of new Hyundais. All with America's best warranty. 5 years longer than the competition. Elantra, Sonata, Santa Fe. Huge savings on every new Hyundai. Now through Labor Day, buy Sonatas with 0 APR for 60 months, plus $2,250 bonus cash. Or make no payments for 6 months on the 2017 Elantra and 2016 Sonata. Plus, get $1,000 summer sales cash at your Hampton Roads Hyundai dealer.
From the station on your side, you're watching WAVY News 10 at 6.
And here's a live look at the First Street Jetty in Virginia Beach through the stage for the American Music Festival, a stage that will not be used now because of the weather headed our way. The waves and wind are also picking up. Don has a look at what Hermine will bring us in just a moment. But first, 2 young people are on the mend after a shooting in a Newport News neighborhood.
We first told you about this last night at 10. 10 on your side has learned that a 12 and 14-year-old were hit in last night's shootings on 35th and Marshall Avenue. Our Andy Fox is back in the neighborhood today. Andy?
Anita and Tom, there appears to be a systematic problem with juveniles getting shot in Newport News. We have learned that tonight. Last night, it happened twice. The people we interviewed do not want to be identified. Bow, 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 bow. 5 shots ring out, and a 12 and 14-year-old standing on that corner were hit. A third person with them took off running. A woman at this traffic light saw it happen.
We were in the car at the red light, and next thing you know, you just hear 5 shots go off, and we look, duck, and keep it moving, and you see a car speed off, and we speed off in a different direction.
They say the car took a hard left and then raced down 35th Street. This woman is a relative of the 12-year-old who was treated and released.
When I walked down the street, I noticed my nephew was down. With that being said, I was able to talk to him. He was responsive for everything. I let him know I was going to call his mama. I talked to the police. Police told me it was non-life threatening.
Violence and gunfire and what happened out here makes you want to move.
That makes the neighborhood want to move.
What about you?
Move.
How scared are you?
Very scary.
35th and Gunsmoke. That's what Kimberly Holliday calls the corner where the kids were shot.
Because that's what goes on, a whole lot of gun smoke.
Exaggeration? Well, we were curious how many juveniles have been shot in Newport News this year. Look at this. In 2015, year to date, 3 juveniles were shot with 2 fatalities. In 2016, 21 juveniles shot, already with 1 fatality. Juveniles shot in Newport News year to date up a whopping 600% compared to 2015.
You got to bring your kids in the house off them corners. When we were small, when the street lights came on, you was in trouble if you was outside after a certain time. That's not how it is nowadays.
Now, just moments ago, I got this statement from Newport News Police Chief Richard Myers. He writes, addressing the crime in the same neighborhood, he writes, while the Newport News Police Department is actively working leads on these incidents, which includes investigating the relationship among known gangs in the area, we need the public's help. The chief is reaching out to the Newport News community to stand up and say enough is enough. If you know anything about these crimes, please call the police. I will have Chief Myers' full statement online at WAVY.com. In the newsroom, Andy Fox, 10 on your side.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with Chief Meteorologist Don Slater.
Well, we're feeling the effects in terms of some rainfall into the region, mainly from the state line and southward. I want to advise you can pick up one of these at Farm Fresh. You can download it at WAVY.com. And again, it contains a lot of useful information. Now, this is not going to be the storm of the century, but it is going to be a good one. And it is going to be a big one, big enough. So we'll really feel the effects of this. It's going to be a mess overnight tonight and into the day tomorrow. Where's that mess coming from? Well, obviously, to our southwest is just just to the north of Charleston, South Carolina right now, and it's going to work its way northward right along the coastline. You can see all of these layers of moisture lifting on northeastward, these bands of rain that could contain some strong winds, some fairly strong winds. But the biggest thing that they're doing is they're feeding into the storm and keeping it going, keeping it strong enough. So by the time it gets into our part of the world, it's going to be strong enough. So we are going to see some tidal flooding and some heavy rain. So we're already feeling the effects. Where's the storm? What's it doing? We'll let it run one more time. It's almost due north of Charleston. There's where it was, moving to the north of the Savannah area, moving northwest of Charleston at 5 o'clock. And now, just an hour later, it's right on into here. So it has moved to the north of and northeast of Charleston right now. And its winds are at 50 miles an hour, moving fairly quickly now at 20 miles per hour. And it's going to continue on that motion during the overnight hours toward Wilmington. And that'll be by 2 o'clock in the morning. And I think by 2 o'clock in the morning, we'll see some pretty good hefty rainfall into the area. Not so much for wind yet, but I think around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, we'll see that wind pick up, and it'll continue through 11 o'clock in the morning. And that's about the time of high tide, too. As we see high tide move on in, again, with that tide, and remember how I showed you that we have all that wind rotating all the way on around. We'll see a northeasterly wind flow into the area. It'll just pile the water up. Now, it's not going to be a huge rise in tidal height until it hits land. So it's just the miles and miles and miles of wind coming in out of the northeast that creates it. And once it hits land, it runs into that solid object, land, and climbs over the beaches. 2 o'clock in the afternoon, it re-intensifies a bit. 60-mile-an-hour winds as it moves on out over the open water. By 2 o'clock in the morning, in other words, late night, Saturday night, it's still kind of close by. It's hung around, and it's intensified further. It's not a tropical storm anymore. It's extra tropical, but it doesn't matter. It's still 65-mile-an-hour winds lingering. There's where things are by Wednesday afternoon and evening, 60-mile-an-hour winds off Cape Cod. Now, how much rain do we get out of this? Now, this has just been updating here. This is through 6 o'clock in the morning. You can see 2.5 to 4 inches in red, 4+ inches in the yellow colors. There's that rainfall coming on in. You can see it touching into the south side just a little bit with pretty close to 4 inches, but the bigger rainfall is in North Carolina, but we're still getting big enough rain, 2.5, 4 inches of rainfall right on into the Hampton Roads cities and toward the eastern shore, even for the peninsula. So again, pretty good slug of rain. And then after that, rainfall doesn't accumulate that awfully much. It'll be overnight and during the day tomorrow, first part of the day tomorrow, that we see the strongest winds too, and the heaviest rain. 36-mile-an-hour winds, 1 o'clock in the morning, 30-mile-an-hour winds, nothing big, but it picks up. 50, 46, 38. There's where we are at 8 o'clock in the morning. 50, 53. Now, with the center of the storm being right on into here, winds drop off toward Kill Devil Hills for the time being, but they'll pick back up again. 55, 60 late morning into the Hampton Roads cities, and then it starts to drop on off during the afternoon and certainly during the overnight hours. So that's what's going on with that whole situation. Our highest tide is going to be, actually, I tend to think it'll be a little bit closer to about 6.6 feet, and that'll be tomorrow morning at around 11 o'clock. Tomorrow during the evening hours, the overnight hours, it looks like it'll be closer to moderate tidal flooding, 5.5, and it'll still hover right on into here. So we could see tides all the way into Sunday, at least some flooding streets each afternoon and nighttime hours, or each morning, and then each nighttime between 10 and 11 a.m. and p.m. Join us tonight at 11, and of course I'll be here throughout the overnight hours.
How will the weather affect local college football tomorrow? I've got all you need to know. And coming up tonight, the season premiere of Friday Night Flights. The Sports Wrap is next.
Experience more confidence regardless of the conditions.
Nothing but blue skies.
Get great offers at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the all-wheel drive 2016 NX Turbo for $329 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Real people, steel people. From heroes to homeowners, they choose steel for power, service, and value. Right now, dependable steel grass trimmers start at just $129.95. And legendary steel chainsaws start at just $179.95. To find a real steel dealer, visit steeldealers.com or search STIHL. Real people, steel people. Join us.
Here you go. Our dog is gonna love camping with us.
Come on, get in.
Eric, come on. Let's do it again. Ready?
My turn.
Now get a new 2016 RAV4 with $1,250 total cash back. Or pick no interest financing for 60 months. Plus, get $500 bonus cash. Toyota, let's go places.
My name is Emmanuel. I've lived in Newport News for 59 years. When I first came there, I was weighing like 380-something pounds. I need a doctor. I need a real doctor, a doctor that cares. The doctor, Prasad, he don't rush. He really cares, you know.
The plan is always to do prevention. So what we try and do at GenCare is make sure we see our patients very frequently.
I can walk 3 or 4 blocks now. I haven't taken any diabetes medicine since May the 27th of last year.
He's a diabetic who's managing his diabetes with just exercise and his proper diet. You just feel like that their energy comes back and you feed off of that as well.
But now I'm doing fine. A lot going on, you know. With the help of God and Jesus and Dr. Prasad, saved my life.
Experience breathtaking Lexus performance in street legal form. Get great offers at the Lexus Golden Opportunity Sales Event. Lease the 2016 IS 300 all-wheel drive for $329 a month for 36 months, and we'll make your first month's payment. See your Lexus dealer.
Breaking news, weather wreaks havoc on tomorrow's college football schedule, making Sunday a historic day in Hampton Road sports history. I'm Bruce Rader. College officials wasted no time this morning letting fans know that tomorrow's opening games will be played on Sunday, and I believe this is a first for our local college football teams. Old Dominion, Norfolk State, and Christopher Newport have all moved their home games from tomorrow afternoon to Sunday afternoon. Safety and not the weather was the main concern. ODU's game against Hampton will now be played Sunday afternoon at 3:30 at SB Ballard Stadium. ODU Athletic Director Wood Seelig says the safety of our fans is our #1 priority. We're not only concerned with the rain and wind, but also how potential flooding could affect getting to and from campus, as well as parking and tailgating. And we know you never mess with tailgating. A few miles away from Foreman Field, Norfolk State will host Elizabeth City in the Labor Day Classic Sunday at 6 o'clock. It helps that Old Dominion is playing Hampton and Norfolk State is hosting ECU. All 4 teams are nearby, so it does not really affect travel plans at all, so that all came in handy. Christopher Newport is also concerned with the rain and high winds tomorrow. The captain's home game against Keene has been moved to Sunday at 1 o'clock. Regarding high school games tonight, the Currituck Hickory game will be played Monday afternoon at the Virginia Beach Sportsplex. Otherwise, the rest of the local high school schedule is intact, and we have our crews all over Hampton Roads tonight. So join me tonight at 11 for the season premiere of Friday Night Flights, the best high school football coverage in Hampton Roads. Friday Night Flights on our new set. It's going to be a big night for you high school football fans tonight. And finally, it's official. Dale Earnhardt Jr., who missed the last 6 races because of concussion-like symptoms, will not return to the track this season. He will be replaced in the 88 by Jeff Gordon and Alex Bowman. Jr., however, has made it clear that he is not calling it a career. He wants to start racing again as soon as the doctors say it's okay, but he will not be racing this year. The season premiere of Friday Night Flights coming up tonight at 11. I will see you then.
All right, and of course, we will see what's happening with this storm system out there.
Brand new information.
Yeah, but it's out there, and it's got 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it's going to be moving on up the shoreline. This is not going to be the storm to end all storms, but it is going to hit us in a pretty big way coming up during the overnight hours. Between around 4 o'clock in the morning through around noontime tomorrow is likely to be the heaviest rain and strongest winds. Join us on the latest at 10 and 11.
We'll see you then, and make sure you go on to WAVY.com for the latest as well.